This is exactly what unlocks the Spurs. A recent article comes out highlighting not just Wembanyama, but the player around Wembanyama that can make the biggest impact on the San Antonio Spurs. And we are going to discuss it here on Spurs Digest with your host, Keenan Warner. And guys, on the road to 10K prior to the season, if you guys haven't yet, and you're seeing this for the first time, seeing us for the first time, or you just haven't gotten to that, hit that subscribe button down low so you don't miss all the content me, Josh, and Brian have coming for you. We are excited for the season. But which Spur, not named Wemby, will make the biggest impact? This is really interesting because there's many ways to dice this. Obviously, we have a lot of impactful players, but the guy who just got paid, De'Aaron Fox, seems to be the guy, to me, that is most important for this. We're going to dive right into it here. For the first time in his marvelous basketball career, and it has been marvelous, he's done things like come second to the United States and give them a run for their money, making Steph Curry have to go on one of the greatest Olympic displays of all time. But Wemby's been crazy already. But he can afford to periodically sit and observe and let the game move without him. He doesn't have to be the only focal point on the court. Clearly 24-11 last year. We hope that can be 28-12 or more this year. He's going to be the focal point, but he doesn't have to be for 48 minutes every single night, which is great. The Spurs star no longer sticking out at times has been only chance of winning. Case in point, Metropolitan's 9-2 decision to cease operations one season following his departure. But if all goes according to plan for the Spurs next season, Wemby won't be the only one shouldering that burden. A young roster that only added talent since the Frenchman has arrived the NBA in 2023 stands to be the most. Still, one name sticks out amongst the rest. He's as fast as they come. It's just a constant threat, Wemby said, referring to his new running mate, De'Aaron Fox. He can go by you in a second. And De'Aaron Fox, of course, we have the newly added Dylan Harper, newly added Carter Bryant. We just got Luke Cornett. We just got Kelly Olynyk. Those are going to be more role players. We have Jeremy Sochan. We just have a Rookie of the Year in Stephon Castle. Harrison Barnes, who is a wily veteran who knows how to play basketball. Devin Vassell can still get you 20. Keldon Johnson can still get you 15. So we've got a lot of talent, but it's that guy, De'Aaron Fox, that's going to be the guy that we see last year throughout the entirety of the season. 23.5, 4.8, and 6.3. 31% from the floor, or from three. 46% from the floor. Did not have one of his most shooting efficient seasons, but that finger has been lingering for him. And this year, after the surgery, we believe that he is going to be able to get back to that standing that he was in Sacramento and for a couple stretches there in San Antonio. But Fox's impact next to Wembanyama, the Spurs traded for him obviously back in February. As we know, we covered it heavily here. We were super excited about it. And the deal earned his veteran seal of approval. I mean, the basketball speaks for itself. Barnes says, praising high character. This was back in the day. And when we got him, Harrison Barnes signed off. Wemby signed off. Everybody signed off. But as I saw the 23.5, 4, and about 6.5 with the Spurs, about 24-7. Only in 17 games. Only played 5 games with Wemby before Wemby had to obviously depart for the season. Hopefully he's going to be back just fine. But he didn't play much with Wemby, which is where you kind of think to yourselves, oh, what could happen? We think that there's a possibility that they could be the best pick-and-roll combo in the league. I mean, think about it. Wemby has the ability to obviously stretch the floor. He can get in the midi, and he also can get to the basket. You have De'Aaron Fox, who, when the jumper is flowing like it was a few years back and he was shooting 36+% from three, you have to give that at least some credibility. You can't just press up on him. You won't want to press up on him anyway because he might be the fastest player in the league with the ball in hand. If not one of the many people on the short list, he's probably the Mount Rushmore when it comes to in the league today, one of your top 4. But You get that, you can't get him on your hip. You cannot allow him to get that shoulder by you, because if not, it's game over. He's too quick, he is too fast, he is too athletic, and too good of a decision maker that when he gets into the teeth of the defense, he's able to either dish it off or finish around the basket with his nice floater that he has, with layups on either side. I know he's a lefty, but he can use that right hand. He can do a lot. So the options on the pick and roll, the pick and pop, every box can be checked at a high to elite level, which is why defenses are not going to just be able to switch it, because when you do switch it, you're going to have a guy who is 6'5", 6'6", doesn't matter who's on De'Aaron Fox, because you can't just have anybody guard De'Aaron Fox. So sometimes, like when people are playing the Warriors, sometimes what they would do with Draymond Green, because they'd obviously set the high pick and roll there, they'll throw a guard on Draymond because he is not much of a defensive threat, and that allows for a guard to switch on to Steph. So then you actually have a viable switch there to where whomever is guarding Draymond Green is not going to be that big of an issue, and then you have a guy who can actually guard Steph. Obviously, Wemby is 7'4 plus, whatever you want to call him. He is a very tall man who has a lot of offensive capabilities, as we all know. You can't just switch anybody onto Wemby. He's just going to shoot over the top of them, whether it is from 25 feet, from 20 feet, from 15 feet, from 5 feet, from 1 foot. Doesn't matter. He's just going to shoot over the top of them. And then you're putting a big on De'Aaron Fox, and that's just game over. So they truly have the ability to be the best pick-and-roll duo in the league. We already saw what Sabonis and Fox was, which was one of the better pick-and-roll duos in the league when they were playing together, and we've only got a much better version of Sabonis with a guy who can shoot better, score better, and then probably not make better. Sabonis is a really good playmaker, but Wemby is also a very underrated but good playmaker as well. I mean, they pledged faith into Fox. Obviously, we signed him to that long-term deal, a deal that was up and down in Spurs Nation because we got Harper. So it's like, why are we paying all this money for another guy, even though Fox is still truly one of them? He really is, and I think this year is going to be a year where either people are going to hate Fox, which I don't think they should at all, or they're going to truly fall in love with De'Aaron Fox. We didn't get to see him long enough last year to truly fall in love with him. We fell in love with the idea, and then we got a better idea, but we don't need to get rid of both of them or get rid of one of them for that idea to come to fruition. We can keep both and still have that come here. I think both, meaning Harper and Fox, if everyone didn't understand. When you add a player like Fox, you have already a strong foundation. There will be expectations that come with it. He is a top player on both ends, dynamic in every sense. That is what De'Aaron Fox is. He is dynamic. He can do it defensively, and I think that being on a team like this where he's not going to have to guard your first best player or even your second best player because we've got so many defenders, he's going to be able to showcase a lot of his quickness, his hands, and his versatility defensively when it comes to guarding on the perimeter. He's a guy who sneakily could lead the league in steals. I mean, we've seen it with guys like Allen Iverson when you have a defensive team around you and he's reading passing lanes. Steph Curry, another smart guy, when he's reading passing lanes, he could go out and lead the league in steals this year. That's something to kind of, if you want a bingo card, like I'm going to place kind of like an obscure bet, but it could hit. De'Aaron Fox leading the league in steals could be that, just solely off the fact that you've got Castle guarding the best guy, you've got Sochan guarding the other best guy, Wemby controlling the entire floor, and then now De'Aaron Fox just gets to use his quickness to get out and transition, run jumping passing lanes. But De'Aaron Fox is the guy who brings this team this season to being contender status. I mean, we've talked about Stephon Castle. If he can take that next step, that's the if. If Stephon Castle can develop like he should, as a prospect should, that's where we can unlock being like a top team. If Dylan Harper comes out, that's where we can unlock being just a top team, like one of the top 2 or 3 with both of them. With De'Aaron Fox, it's De'Aaron Fox, play at the level that you're playing, and we are now going to be a true playoff contender and a true second-round contender to get to the second round. Like, that's it. Just continue to be you. Do what we've seen you do. Wemby, do what we've seen you do, and that's it. There's no ifs. There's just do what you're capable of, and because we've seen it already. You've won the most clutch player of the year. You've been the best player on the team that was a 3 seed in the Western Conference. We've seen it already. All you got to do is go and do it again. But let me know if you think that they're going to be able to do it again, and if you think De'Aaron Fox is the second most important player on the San Antonio Spurs behind Victor Wembanyama. But I think that this pick and roll is truly going to unlock the San Antonio Spurs. I really do. So I'm excited for it. But let me know in the comments. This has been Spurs Digest with your host, Keenan Warner. If you guys have gotten to this point and you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss all the great content we're going to have coming for you. Season's around the corner, it feels like. Hope everyone's doing well out there, and we'll be seeing you guys again very soon.